This one will be on natures, the natura. What is a nature? It is an array, a set of inclinations, teleological, meaning aimful, impulses. It is everything that constitutes a given subject. The nature of an animal is pertaining to it. Everything has a nature. Each has a nature of its cherryness, of its substance matter. Nature is something that is the innermost core of your being as a living mortal, and something pertaining to your heart, your soul, your spirit, daimon, hegemon, your mind. It is the wholeness of you. Now, do we have same natures? There are diverse natures amongst humans, animals, the invisible worlds, the spirits. There are diverse natures in everything. Some cluster in types, genus. We can have a catalog of natures. Malignant natures, good natures, calm natures, calmly malevolent natures, sternly strict and disciplined natures. Natures may belong to the planetary spheres, to those of Jupiter or Saturn and the myriads of intelligences associated with these planets. Yet the greatest tragedy of the broken animal, which a mortal human being is the inability to discover its own nature. And when we speak about gnoti se auton, it means know thyself. It means know the innermost of your nature, mind, heart, soul, and the nature of your spirit, the daimon, the Socratic genius, if you may. So the process of discovering this nature is by component of self-awareness, self-reflection, and the ability to critically discern what belongs to us, what is alien to us, what is antagonistic towards us, what is concordant or complementary with us. And in this lively toil, we experience this with a critical introspection, retrospection, and recapitulation of what we truly are. And herein we find ourselves, our natures. We may have large natures with various aspects. We may have petty natures and simple natures. Now, how did I arrive at the knowledge of my own nature? I wouldn't describe it in a few words. As a medium, I encountered plenty of, let's say, entities and spirits attempting to overpower my mind, my soul, my heart, in many ways. And here we meet certain thing that is meant to be a protest, a blockade. And by blocking and letting in, we discover ourselves, what is concordant with us. How do we know that we don't deceive ourselves? Because this is a process that lasts for years. And in this, we are changed. Not only we discover our natures, but we process it, evolve it, adapt to it. So whatever possessed me, I experimented and observed it a little bit from beyond, from above myself. This daimonic, Socratic perspective. And in such, I also learned to co-develop, co-evolve with various natures, whether splendid, whether that of the high intelligences or the hellish and chthonic ones, the animal souls, the variety of the invisible worlds, and that of other fellow mortal human beings that I conversed with, exchanged, and happenstance we influenced each other to a certain degree, learning each other. It is a constant learning in which you become a bit of a disciple of those worlds, a disciple of the universe, so to say. And by, as you progress in life and your experience expands, and you live through this much, your nature is bound to grow. And you start to contain certain things within that co-evolve and co-shape you. So you can carry a legion within, even of hellish creatures that left a mark on you. You can carry the bright spirits of the aeters, of many worlds, that incarnated, embodying themselves in your vehicle, this mortal flesh, mind, heart, and soul. And they also left a mark on this nature. Whenever something that was incompliant or something that you wanted to reject, you knew by the knowledge of this rejection that that is not concordant with your nature. Whenever something was beautiful and splendid and you recognized it as such, you accepted that into your world. And this is a shaping of personality, of nature, of the mind, in which you are both the artificer, the alchemist that shapes himself, works upon himself, and allows others to work on him, inasmuch as your nature allows. So, whenever something attempts to change your nature towards the walls, something that you discern as false or flawed or wrong, you grab it by the gab, in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, and shove it out. Of course, even stern and disciplined and very malignant beings may leave a mark on you, but you try to coin it towards the better. In other words, process it towards something more rectified and crystallized. Otherwise, you will fall to those natures. Some natures want to render you similar, alike in this war, in this battle. Some may treat you like a stuffed doll, to be controlled, like a puppet. The issue is that you must be the puppeteer of yourself, controlled by your own spirit, by your hegemon. And sometimes you go within your body and mind and soul and heart. Sometimes you must go outside to observe yourself from all the angles and to see what else to shape. Sometimes you co-live with many entities inhabiting your body and mind, and you utter with them alone. Sometimes you are the actor, sometimes you are the acted. Sometimes you are both an actor and the acted. But the notion of this magnificent discoveries is that if you know how to govern yourself, you won't go astray. Easier said than done, but you discover it along the path of self-reflection and introspection, and this critical discernment that is so important. To know where nature tries to overpower you, what kind of things you would like to absorb from it. And after the years, your mind changes. Your body ages much slower and changes much slower than your mind that is shaped and acts in this intensity. As a child, I was completely different. 30, 25, 20, 15, 5 years even ago, I was different. But along this path, along this intensive learning, teaching, I've learned to comprehend myself. And this is the foundation that once was called gravitas in ancient Rome, possessing the weight, the presence of, well, Polynesians called it the mana. This is the graveness of your existence, whether you are light or heavy. Gravitas meant the sense of purpose, destiny, duty, and responsibility. Now that is a completely different thing, a thing for a different lecture and speech. They say that people don't change that often. You cannot be recognized later by many people if you change too much, too often, especially when you're a medium. And at first you're disbalanced in this anantodryomia, left and right, your nature goes through variables, insanities. But it is, if you may, up to you to order it and to make it strong. To make this pneumatic diamond crystallize. To allow this hatchling of a superior spirit to be born. And then you are as if guided by your celestial self. In continuous conversation, you gave birth to it, this condensation of little anima mundi in a mortal human being. And the very invisible hands that guide you are yourself in a perfected state, cooperating with others, with agathos daimones, with gods, goddesses, with the spirits. And it is not a continuous process. Of course we fall. Of course our perspectives diminish. But once we recover this Socratic genius in this turbulent life, we are at peace and we move forth. We know how to navigate because we have a map. Thank you.